Do it live.
All right, what's up, guys?
Mm-hmm.
What's up,
What
y'all?
is what is up? Are we live? Oh, okay.
We're Episode 128 of the Hub 408. What's up, guys? What's up, Takumu? Kumusta sa lahat ng mga tao there? I appreciate y'all. I am Ron Sara. That's Ninja Iceberg. Joff Smith at the bottom there. What's up, y'all? Happy Friday. We don't have anything planned for this episode at all. so, so
Yeah. Yeah.
Barrio Bruja's in the house. Kumusta? La
Oh,
Fuente Lin is in there too. Thank you for the halo halo too, Barrio Bruja. I appreciate. It's always good to get a halo halo, Joff. You know, Ninja. You enjoy a halo halo during the winter time?
during the
Some
wintertime?
beans, you know
Sure.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Guzzle up some beans.
Yeah. Hella protein.
Never a fan of the beans, though. To be honest with you guys.
Dude, fucking massage that shit. Guzzle it.
My goodness. I was never a hindi ako traditional na halo halo drinker anyway. I wasn't a fan of the red beans. I wasn't a fan. You know, I like the halo halo blanco where it's just like hella plain, right? It's just like milk, ice, sugar, some Rice Krispies in that. You know, like I don't know the super basic stuff. But what's up, guys? Happy Friday, Joff. Happy Friday to you, Ninja. How
Yo,
are
yo, yo.
how are you guys today?
It's cool. No, just chilling. Hey, you hear about that WWE thing?
Nah, go ahead and tell me. I've not kept up with anything.
Oh, because
I have no news in my system.
well, they don't get the benefit of the doubt, right?
WWE?
Yeah. Uh, you know Walter, right? The
He's a
NXT
wrestler.
UK. Yeah,
Yes.
it's German. It's Walter. Yeah, it's W, but it's pronounced with a B. Fucking idiots. But anyway, uh,
It's German. Yeah.
they changed his name, right?
The infamous WWE change, where they'll
Yeah,
take a wrestler's name and change him
they
to something
changed
horrible.
they changed his name to Gunther.
What? That's so stereotypical.
Gunther Stark, right? Come to
Gunther
find
what?
out, the Gunther Stark.
Oh, okay. All
So
right.
they trademarked it,
All right.
and turns out Gunther Stark is a Nazi U-boat captain.
Of course. Of course it is.
So they had to like denounce that claim right away, and he's still going by Gunther. But the thing that's crazy is like
That is
uh
definitely pure
but that's the
WWE right
thing
there.
that
That's very wrestling too.
that's the
Go-
thing well they're kind of Walter he leads a faction called Imperium,
Oh my God, are you serious?
right? Yeah, no. And their thing, it's very close. Their thing is they're here to cleanse the wrestling industry. Cleanse,
Oh my God,
right? And
dude. Even
when they come out, it's like you could you could see the kind of like the visual there. It's like they're all standing in attention. They're like Nazi-ish.
oh my God,
Not
that is
Nazi-ish, right?
that is so bad. Why?
But that's
Even
their
without
faction,
the
Imperium.
even
Oh
without
my
the
God.
Gunther Stark thing, just going straight alt right neo-Nazi fascist is
Yeah, that's their faction.
probably not a good look, especially if you're WWE owned by Ed and Linda McMahon, who are super Trump fans. You know,
Yeah, they had to like they had to they had to back up that. Like, dude, nobody. well, nobody checked it, or they thought it was gonna be Gunther Stark. Find out it's like, oh yeah, he's a Nazi U-boat captain.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So
Okay.
that's why.
Okay.
I did have a question for you guys. So, Joff, everything that we love is character based, right?
Yeah.
Um, there's just some characters that you, I guess, just shouldn't do, right?
Oh
Just
yeah.
shouldn't do. And the wrestling industry, I think, for years has, uh, it's made money off of like all our fears of stereotypes, things like that, right? Like just all this stuff. So like, um, yeah, I don't even know if you can. Well, I mean, they did. They tried to. They attempted to get away with having a character
Well,
like
there's
that.
another one.
That's insane.
There's another character that they have. They're trying out. He's a he's a heel right now.
Is he like an Italian person who
No,
like
no, 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 no,
is
no,
friends with Gunther, or is he a
no,
Japanese person who's like?
no.
Oh, their
He's
wrestling's pretty bad to Asians too. But that's a whole
he's a
nother.
woke liberal. He's he's talking about safe spaces. This ring is a safe space. All this stuff like
Okay, all right, yeah.
microaggression, blah blah blah. He's a social justice warrior, and he's a bad guy. Like, oh, they hate him because he's
Okay,
annoying. But
yeah.
that's like Joe Gacy
He's
or whatever.
okay. So he's an annoying, like
Social
super
justice.
leftist. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they are kind of annoying though. They are kind of annoying. They do go overboard.
but
They
yeah,
can go overboard.
that's the character. He's like, I wanted to this safe space, and I want conflict resolution, whatever. Like he's using all the triggering words or
Yeah,
the
yeah. Then he fights someone. That doesn't even make sense. Like,
That's
how does that
crazy.
even work? Yeah, let's use our
it's
words. Let's
you
use our words. Let's listen to let's listen to each other and try and figure out what our source of conflict is. And then he
yeah
open palm slaps him. I don't understand that.
they're
That doesn't even
going
make
like
sense.
they're going way like dude, they're doubling down. Like, this is on NXT, so like this is their developmental program. They have like that you're she used to be like a badass. Now her character is like a typical Asian schoolgirl. It's like, what the fuck is going on here, dude?
Oh
Who are we
my
talking
god.
about?
Soraya. She was like a martial artist, whatever. Now she comes up with like she's wearing pigtails, glasses, like schoolgirl uniform. Like, dude, it's
Why?
strange. I don't know, dude. It's because fucking Vince is going crazy. I don't know, because Vince is a fucking weird old man, dude. He's
He's like, how can I make this more white supremacist? I don't think it's white supremacist enough.
It's
well,
like we
because
haven't learned from the mistakes of like Hulk Hogan talking crazy and all this stuff, dude. That's super wild.
I mean, when are they going to come out with a January 6th, peaceful
Character.
protester character? Yeah, I mean,
oh, they had them. They had these guys before. They had these guys before January 6th. Like, but
Oh my god.
they had that group. They're kind of well, their name were what was that? The Forgotten Sons. They're like ex-military, supposedly like ex-veterans, whatever. They're a little proud boyish.
yeah,
They're peaceful protesters, right?
Yeah.
They were tourists that happened to be on a on a tour, right?
yeah, of the national monuments, and got caught up in in an insurrection. I guess
Yes.
that's how it happened. You know how it works, right?
Yeah,
You know how that works.
particularly on that day.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people have been basically slowly going away from WWE,
Yes.
and just looking at other stuff and watching
Yeah,
other stuff,
yeah. Now
either
that they have
AEW
options.
or more indie stuff or more local stuff. You know, going to local like Hood Slam. I know a lot of my friends used to go to Hood Slam all the time.
Mm.
You know, so I mean, it's definitely nice to have more options and not just WWE. I mean, I know back in the day you had WCW, but man, it always felt like, you know, the GoBots to WWE's Transformers, you know. It always had that feeling for me. Like I couldn't really watch it, you know. It was weird. Like they had it's basically greatest hits, you know, wrestling, because they had a lot of the older people who came up during the 80s and
It's their
90s,
Yes.
production. It's their production
and
values.
it just wasn't great. Like
No, but they had the. Well, I always thought they had like the cooler fucking gimmick matches, like fucking war games and
What up, Kent?
uh
sure, a little try hard, don't you think?
not war games was fucking awesome. Two
Well, I mean,
rings and two cage, fucking fused together.
Yeah, there were some gimmicks I liked, but like I think
Halloween Havoc, that roulette, whatever. You spin the wheel
spin the
and
wheel, make a deal. I don't know if I'm a fan of that where you
no,
have to
not
leave
spin
it
the
to
wheel, make a
chance.
deal. Like, but like every Halloween Havoc, right? The like you spin the wheel, and whatever that wheel is, that's the match you're gonna have. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
it's like a lumberjack match or whatever.
See, that'd be the worst it'll always choose a match that you don't want to see. Like, damn, it's that match. You know what I mean? If they leave, if it's not rigged, I guess if it's not rigged and stuff. But I remember one Halloween Havoc, Jeff. They had the electric chair and Abdullah the Butcher. This 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 very rotund man was all of a sudden thrown in the electric chair. They put the thing on him, and they it was like they were killing a man on TBS. It was kind of awesome as a kid to see that.
Yeah, yeah.
They were, they were
I don't think
definitely the ultimate.
I don't think I've ever seen that, but
I mean, they had RoboCop, right? You guys remember that?
did they? I don't
Yeah,
remember that
they
either.
had
I
RoboCop.
very rarely watch WCW.
Ninja at the height of RoboCop's popularity,
They
all of
had
a sudden
RoboCop.
he came
What in
out.
in like 1992? I
He
mean,
he came out to the ring with the blonde haired Sting,
oh
Yeah,
my god.
you know,
Oh my god, the blonde haired Sting.
and it was
yeah.
the
Surfer,
slowest.
Surfer Sting.
It was the slowest walk for RoboCop to the ring,
Who
and
was in the
everyone
cage? Was it Sting was in the cage that RoboCop like freed him, or was it the other way around? It was so dumb.
I mean, the production values. I mean, they'll pay for. I think they will. Well, that's Ted Turner, right? So he's the owner of. He was one of the big bosses, right? Back
Yeah,
then of multimedia, I guess you could say. So like he'll pay the rights to have a character on his TV, but just not executed very well, I guess. No, but I mean, this all brings me to this one question that I've been trying to build up for the last 13 minutes with you guys. Um, Sometimes we want to create characters, and we love characters that are so heinous, villainous, that sometimes we might say, okay, that's okay. Like the Joker is okay, right? He's probably one, hands down. I bet you to a lot of us, he's the
Sure.
number one
Yeah.
villain ever, right? But at the
Sure.
same time, we'll judge Gunther, whatever, whatever. And I'm sorry, Joff, too. I don't really watch NXT
I
UK
don't. I
too, right?
don't. Yeah, I don't either. I just like.
So that his name is kind of like when you hear it already, you're like, oh, I know that guy. You know what I mean? And the fact that they even changed his name to something worse,
Yeah, and
like,
he's not like. Plus, like you could tell, like, because he's not like one of these body guys. Like he's not cut up. Like
yeah,
he's big, but he's like a stump mostly. Like
Oh, really? He's like
yeah,
a journeyman kind of guy.
he's not like a bodybuilder type. Like shredded or whatever.
Yeah,
He's
he's not
just
like a
like,
John
oh,
Cena or something.
yeah, he's just like a big guy. Like you could tell there's muscles there, but like he's not cut or shredded or nothing. He's just a big dude, like a stump.
Yeah.
Mm. I was
And
gonna.
he looks like, dude, he looks hella German too.
What does that even mean?
I was gonna say, well, but what's some characters that like for
Like
example,
fucking the square jaw and the haircut. Like, dude, it's like, dude, this guy's like,
check this out. Like when we're talking about like certain bad guys, like one of my favorite bad guys, like I'm not even really supposed to like him if I'm really supposed to think about it. And that's the Red Skull, right? I'm not really supposed to like this guy at all, but growing up, you read him in the comic books and all that stuff, and the lore of him is he's always been kind of dead, right? Like they don't really bring him up in case it's for something, and it's usually nothing good too. The stories they bring him back for, it's usually nothing good that I remember
Sure.
from back in the day. But
Yeah, they don't. They did kind of like stop using him for a little bit, I guess. But I mean, in like from like the 40s until like the 80s, I guess they did use
right,
him in Captain America stories pretty often.
yeah. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. They kind of retooled him to where he's like, oh, okay, he's more of a Hydra guy or whatever it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah, something.
But what are some other guys? Who are some other guys that like
Problematic villains.
that don't really when we were talking about Eternals, we were going in on what's his name, who was the reveal. What's his name?
Who?
Icarus?
Star
Icarus?
Fox. Star
Oh,
Fox.
Star
Oh,
Fox. Yeah,
Star
yeah,
Fox.
yeah. Harry Styles. Yeah, yeah.
Who, by the way,
Harry Bubba.
I did not know until just a couple of days ago, and I saw Eternals in the movie theater like a while back. You guys remember my take on that, but I barely found out a couple of days ago it was Harry Styles because I totally forgot how Harry Styles looks like. Why would I even give a fuck about no Harry Styles? But the fact that he got in,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, as this character who's also just like what we talked about, Ninja was is a problematic character in
Yeah.
Marvel lore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, like straight up his power is to control your emotions, and he can control your emotions to make you like somebody. So and then he was put on trial for that, for possibly making someone fall in love with someone else, which is pretty terrible. But it was a different time, right? It was a different time.
I like Sabretooth, right? But we consider Sabretooth also. He's such a scumbag, right?
He is, but I mean, but he just does like regular. I mean, I guess it's kind of weird how there's some villains where you're kind of like, ooh, that crosses a line, right? Like,
Like I remember John back in the day used to let me hear
well,
you
actually,
scream.
no. Actually, no.
What?
that Sabretooth
So,
line, let me hear you scream. Remember like
yeah. So here's the thing about Star Fox, though, is that the problem with Star Fox isn't that he's creepy necessarily, because he's creepy, right? Like his powers are kind of creepy. It's that he's supposed to be a good guy, right? That was his whole thing, was that he was the opposite of Thanos, right? Thanos is the bad guy, and Star Fox was supposed to be a good guy. He even joined the Avengers. He hung out with like She-Hulk, and he had this power where it was very questionable whether or not he used it for nefarious reasons, right? That's what makes him kind of shitty.
that's a crazy
right?
power, by the way.
Yeah, and that's what makes him that's what makes him kind of problematic. Like this Gunther guy, is he supposed to be a good guy or a bad guy? If he's supposed to be a good guy, then yeah, it's like no, that's a problem. If he's supposed
Nah,
to be a
he's a bad
bad
guy.
guy, oh well, then I mean, if but I mean that's the thing, right? These are bad people, but do we need them to be? Because you're still giving them a platform, right? Even though he's supposed to be a bad guy, very easily people can be like, "Oh yeah, my favorite wrestler is Gunther Stark," the German dude, very easily. It's like, he's a bad guy. It's like, yeah. Like, I really like that guy. I think he's awesome. I think what he does is amazing.
He is a good
cheer
wrestler
for him every
though.
time.
He's pretty good.
See, that
there you
sucks that
go,
he happens to be a good wrestler too. Because
Right.
he's not gonna get nowhere because of his fucking horrible gimmick.
Or he might get somewhere because of his horrible gimmick, which is actually kind of worse, right? Like, if he becomes more popular because of his gimmick and people buy more of his merchandise because of the gimmick, and then they change him up, and then there's an outroar and people like start bashing WWE for that, then that's even more of an issue, I would say, right?
Well,
I can see it happen. Think about the audience that watches wrestling, right? Like, I mean, I know a lot of you guys and us, basically out there watching this show, watch wrestling. But then there's also the stereotype of who else watches the wrestling shows, and it could go very badly. It could go very January 6th.
Yeah, sometimes when I usually keep up with wrestling with through the news and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll go in the comments too and see people's temperature of certain things. So when you see people either on this side or on that side, and just the language that people use and the familiarity of certain words and all that stuff, I get to learn from that.
Mm-hmm.
I may not necessarily care about like what the actual topic is about, but I actually get to see, and maybe that's what I'm not there. I'm not there for that though. I'm there because I want to read and nerd out about fucking guys in underwear fucking fighting, right? But at the same time, you get caught up in somebody from this side just using certain verbiage, somebody from this side using certain verbiage. I got into it also, online a couple of weeks ago too. So like when you see people's
fucking
ideas, boba libs, right? But
yeah.
I was just like, I had to find out like, okay, what is that? How is that offensive? How are they using it against me?
You boba lib.
Yeah, all this stuff, and she said, you're the Karen, you're the Ken. She was like, you're the Ken. And I was like, what? I was like, no, it's you. Like, don't try to Jedi. She was like trying to Jedi. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I seen somebody's technique today, right? Which was kind of messed up. Was these two were going at it. These two were going at it online, and they were going at it for maybe about an hour. You know how like certain IG threads will just kind of read and see the timelines and stuff.
Yeah.
And the technique that one of the aggressors, right, was doing, they deleted all their comments also, and suddenly was like, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. This is this is crazy. Like, stop commenting. Like, I don't know what's going on. And I was just like, these people are trying to erase your minds.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right then and there. And I was just like, dude, that's kind of insane. Like, yo, I kind of felt that of what happened.
It's called gaslighting.
Dude, it's like, were you just trying to erase my mind? Like, dude, we were fighting here. You're the one pick the argument. You know what I mean? Sometimes you might say a joke, Joff, that either goes over their heads or they get really offended to where they gotta like, oh, my Filipino boyfriend would never say that. Like, who are you? Why are you talking for him?
Offended. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of weird. I think some of it is, at least from the right, coming from the right side, I think a lot of it is very much posturing because they see the arguments or how people from the left argue, and they try to reverse it, right? They try to reverse engineer it and use it as like, well, if they're doing it like this, why can't we do it like this, right? And not understand the context of the argument or of the technique that some leftists use, right? Like they'll be like, well, if you're saying Black Lives Matter and I'm saying all lives matter, what's wrong with that, right? Ignoring all the context behind what BLM means, and just going all lives matter, and this is basically reactionary. Basically, it's reactionaries saying something. They're not really offended by it, but they're seeing that, hey, how dare you be the victim, you know how dare you be a victim? Well, you know what? I can be a victim too. And they basically they take the language on of people who are actually being oppressed, who are actually being harmed, and try to transpose that on their own situation, not understanding that context wise, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You can say the same things, but in reality, none of that actually makes sense, because especially like if you're a white person, right? Or even like an East Asian person, sometimes it doesn't really work, because you're not of that oppressed. You're not oppressed, right? And that's the thing that some people don't really understand. They want to create themselves as a victim, so they adopt these language, and then they try to gaslight you into thinking that, oh, I'm the real victim here. It's like, no, it's
crazy.
it's not how it works. It's pretty bonkers. Yes.
Yeah, what do you guys think about all this there's more Asian versus black fights between kids or certain groups all over the country that's happening. Have you guys seen any of that stuff?
No, I haven't.
In terms of kids,
Either kids
really.
or whatever. And now I started seeing video, because all the videos I kept seeing was just a bunch of Asian kids just getting jumped, right, by like 12 black kids, 15 black kids,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And then now the videos that I'm seeing is, I was like, I had commented like, man, Asians are nothing to mess with also, right? Certain Asians are nothing to mess with too. So I just wanted to see it. I was just like, man, you'll come across the wrong ones one day. So
Sure.
now the videos that I'm seeing is either retaliation videos, or and then you get, this thing is so messed up and so lopsided. It's just so weird. I don't understand it. I truly don't understand it, because I mean, growing up, I think you were cool with everybody. To now we're in a culture where you're not cool with people. So these young kids that's growing up, they're growing up in a time where you're not cool with people. Even though me and Ninja, even Job back in the day, we've gone through those huge race wars that used to happen here back in the late 90s, whatever.
Sure. Yeah. Into high school and all that. Yeah.
So it's just weird to see, like, maybe a certain group of folks is believing the bullshit that is being, is believing the stuff that we make fun of, because we know it's not real, right?
Yeah.
And in retaliation, they got to go and defend themselves if they can. Most of the times they can't, because they're picking on, not to say that this person is weak and wouldn't fight back, but if they're picking on this person because he's Asian, because of his sexuality, orientation, or whatever it is,
age,
no one's going to stand up for him until somebody starts, back. So, like, all I'm saying is, my cousin, and I either brought it up or I haven't brought this up before, but it just kind of bugged me out, where my cousin was in Eastside San Jose, that Walgreens, next to the park. You know what I mean? King. You know, we're talking about
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah,
near
yeah,
Independence, whatever.
yeah, yeah. Hmm.
He's in line, and some black dude comes in talking about, "Oh, I love making Asians feel uncomfortable."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you." You know. But when he first came in here, inside, he was saying like, "Yo, oh, this is why you're taking so long." Talking to this girl probably because there's an
Mm,
Asian dude in here.
mm,
You know what I mean? So even my cousin just kind of like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? But then when as he walked outside too, he's like, that dude was like, had said the whole "I love making Asians feel uncomfortable."
sure.
When my cousin walked outside, he was outside, like, it could have went down right there, probably.
Hmm.
Pretty sure my
Yeah,
cousin was ready for it, you know. But nothing happened. It was more the dude was flipping him off, and just he kept talking. I'm just saying, you might run across the wrong type of folk. You know what
sure,
I mean? Talking
sure.
that type of shit. But I, I don't know. I almost felt betrayed in a way, Ninja,
Mm, mm.
because that's our stomping grounds.
Yeah, literally.
That's literally our stomping grounds. To where, like, when we were walking around those places,
Hmm.
everybody was cool with everybody,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, we were there when it used to be a bowling alley. Remember that?
Yes. Oh my, wow. So I'm just saying, like, when you see this type of stuff or hear this type of stuff, it
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
for me personally, it hurts.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? That there's, me and another friend had talked about that, who happens to be, black. He was like, "Yeah, I don't get it." And I was
Yeah,
just like, "Well, this is a young generation, right?"
yeah.
So I'm just like, they're just built up on this, maybe on lies, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to make an understanding
It's
of it, and I can't seem to
it's
pinpoint what it is.
yeah.
I don't know if
It's
you guys have thought about that or even give a fuck about that, but it's just something that just kind of bugged me out. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, it kind of stretches back to like mm, kind of stretches back to I don't know, maybe the 50s or the 60s or whatever, like mo- 70s, 80s, something like that, right? Whenever the model minority thing started coming out, right? I mean,
Mm,
that's basically where it kind of started, right? Like you you have these Asian people coming over to America and almost instantly being successful, right? Being successful, buying houses, starting businesses, being propped up by America, and a lot of them are self-selecting or filtered, right? Either filtered by themselves or by America because they were only allowing people who were like educated to come over, right? So they're already set up, and they already didn't have like any kind of blocks to getting loans to start to buy a house or to start a business and things like that. So
mm,
when you have like this influx of immigration coming in and um, succeeding where other people like let's say black people were denied some of these opportunities, there is some resentment there is a good amount of resentment there, and obviously it goes back and forth, right? Like during the whole Black Panther movement of like the 60s, a lot of Asian people, Vietnamese people especially, stood with Black Panthers and all that kind of stuff. You can see pictures of that.
mhm,
So there was a lot of that kind of stuff going on back then, but it's always this back and forth, right? Because what's really happening is you're white people, because they were in power at the time, they're setting up this other race to basically say, hey, look at these guys, they could make it, why can't you make it, basically pointing to black and brown people, right? And that's basically the start of how that happened. Then it kind of gradually got worse and worse and worse in that way, where some people see Asian people as white adjacent, you know. And that's the problem with white people, is that white people isn't a race. White people is an idea, right? There's no such thing as white people. It's a made up race that excludes people and includes certain people.
Mm.
You're either in or you're out, right? Irish people used to not be white people. Italian people used to not be white people, right? It used to be like Germans, it used to be like English people. Jewish people weren't white people. Then eventually you start like bringing these people in because you want to keep a certain amount of people, certain type of people out. So so now it kind of feels like, especially with model minority, it feels like white people are trying to bring Asian people in and trying to keep black people out, right? So you fast forward throughout the years, look at like 1992, fucking the Rodney King thing, right? The
Which I
riots.
watched recently. Watched a
Mhm.
great documentary on it.
Okay, and then you see what happened there, right? Like
Yep.
Rodney King was the catalyst between, to start off the fight between like, you know, Asian people, Korean people, and black people, right? These things were, but it wasn't like in a vacuum, right? Like they didn't start fighting because of Rodney King specifically, but they were fighting because a lot of the businesses that Korean people owned back then in that area used to be owned
White
by white
neighborhoods.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in black neighborhoods, but they were owned by white people. And when Asian people started moving in, they were sold off to those Asian peoples instead of giving it back to the community to own. So there's just more resentment that way. And it kind of just builds up, builds up, builds up. And obviously, you see like a lot of Asian people are starting to come up a little bit more, yada yada yada. But here's the thing about Asian people is that because Asian people are not a monolith, you can, if you break it down by what countries they come from, East Asian people tend to do better than Southeast Asian people. You know,
Mm.
like if you compare like a Korean person or a Japanese person or a Chinese person with like a Cambodian person or a Thai person, the numbers aren't they're not equal, right? There is like a disparity even within
Mm.
the Asian race. Like some people will be like, "Oh, Asian people are very studious and yada yada yada." You can say that, but there's still like you know prejudice within Asian people. So so
100%. Yeah.
so there's a lot of stuff that still needs to be broken down that way. Um, and we understand that. I mean, I I used to tell people, it's like, man, Chinese people are super racist against other Asian people. It happens.
Mm.
It's a thing. And it's just it's kind of like Europeans back in the day, especially, right? How they all hated each other. English people and French people don't like each other. But me as an Asian guy, as a Chinese guy, is gonna look at it. It's like, dude, you guys are all white. Why are you guys fighting? It's the same thing with like a Chinese person and a Vietnamese person, or a Korean person and a Thai person. They're gonna be like, oh, we don't like each other. And it's like, but why? You guys are all Asian. It's like, well, yeah, but if you break it all down, there's animosity between people all the time, anyways. So it's super confusing and super super wild. Everyone gets lumped into these things, and then especially after the past year, you got all these anti-Asian sentiments that are coming in, and people don't really care if who you are, what you are. You're Asian. It doesn't matter if you're Southeast Asian. It doesn't matter if you're South Asian. People are blaming everyone for everything. So it's it's not an excuse. It's just that there's so much history and there's so much resentment and so much like stuff
I
that
mean,
just
right.
happens. That you can't really like. I can't get in the mind of the person that said that stuff to your cousin, right? But I mean, part of it, I mean, it's obviously anger, right? But whether or not it's anger that's directed towards Asian people or just the world in general, I honestly don't know. But that guy was definitely angry about something, most likely his station in life,
Right.
and
The
just needed
circumstances.
to just
Yeah.
needed to say something. And part of me gets
What up,
that.
Malaki?
Obviously, part of me does understand, even if I've never been in that situation per se. I can understand why you would want to lash out at somebody, right? And that's the toughest. That's part of one of the toughest part is that it's like, well, yes, I get it, but at the same time, it's like that's really fucked up to just take it out on somebody who has nothing to do with your current situation. unless unless they're Trump supporters, I guess, or unless they're Republicans.
It's just super tough though. It's super tough though when you hear about people getting pushed onto subway,
Yeah.
onto
Hmm. Yeah.
oncoming subway trains and
Yeah.
stuff like that, where it seems like these just I don't want to get normalized. I don't want that to
Hmm.
become a
Yeah.
normal part of my waking up in the morning. When
Hmm.
you wake up in
Yeah.
the morning and
Yeah.
that's one of the first things that you read about, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
We've talked a lot about on the show about the way things have been normalized, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes we'll talk about it. Sometimes we'll maybe pass up on it because it's just too much.
Hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But when we do see some type of humor, some type of funniness, or some type of dark, whatever it is, we will speak on it, right? And
Hmm.
yeah, I'm just kind of astonished the way that things are, even though I am a realist of like, well, shit, I know this type of shit is out there. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I'm not like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I
Yeah.
can't believe this happened. But I do feel hurt. Like, damn, that happened in East Side San Jose, where
Hmm. Hmm.
we really got each other's backs from what I know from back then. So it's just a whole different generation that has just growing up on something different. You know what I mean? And I hope, you know, I,
I mean, I
I can
think I
only
think
hope it
honest
could get better. That's all.
I think honestly, your take is true for you though, right?
Right.
Like I think a part of it is that we never really examined how race relations were when we were growing up, like in terms of like, I mean, we could sit here and say that we're the, some of the good ones. I'm an Asian person. Why would I be racist towards other people? It's like, because people are racist towards me. Why would I reflect that on other people? But obviously, some people who are in our generation grew up to be the very people that are oppressing, people now. Like, there's a
Crazy.
lot of people on our Facebook pages who are who are high school, who went to the same high school, who sat in the same classes, who basically have these views that are just like, whoa, how did that happen? So the fact that the people who are our age have that kind of view means that their lived experience is completely different from our lived experience, and it just goes to show that even if we're trying to be better people, they went the complete different route. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Um, and even if we never fucking like said shit about anything, to never try to treat people badly because of who and what they are, doesn't mean that it wasn't around, especially if they grew up to be just as bad as some of the people we see on TV. You know,
Mm.
so it just wasn't as noticeable when we were in high school. What the fuck did we have during high school? Napster, MySpace. MySpace was a little bit after our high school, right?
Yeah.
No, not Napster. Fucking what was it? Friendster. It was Friendster, then it was MySpace, and then now it's Facebook, right? So I didn't get on that Friendster train. Uh, and then there was MySpace, and then now there's Facebook, and it's just everywhere. But obviously, when we were in high school, none of this stuff was really around. We weren't using TikTok or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's just easier to spread nowadays, I guess.
Which is again, which is just crazy. Just thinking about just if we're rounding everything up. What's up, Mike? How are you? If we're just rounding everything together, this was just more talking about characters that we enjoy, characters we don't enjoy,
I know. How
stuff
did we
like that.
spin to this? How did we spin up to
Because
this?
I think it all goes into something there. I guess. Okay, like for me, right? I like the movie Blood In Blood Out. I don't know if you guys remember that movie very
Okay.
well or not.
Not very well, no.
All right. There was a character in there who is a piece of shit. Big
Yeah.
Al, the white racist, that tries to rape other inmates, tries to get favors, works for the polar bears, right? The white gang, right? But he's one of the most entertaining parts. not meant to be entertaining like that, but he's one of the best parts of that movie because he's an antagonist. He plays his role well. You know what I mean? Like me and Joff have an inside joke where it's the movie Girl with a Butterfly Tattoo. Okay. And there's a certain scene there that Joff always tells me, you know, which is he says, "I have a question for you, Ron," and I know where that line stems from, and it happens to happen. Yeah, it happens. It happens to come at a really horrible part during that movie, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I don't necessarily enjoy watching things like that, but I'm entertained. And do I have to check now myself of the things that I am entertained?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like I'm. This is what I meant by you know. I know a couple months ago, or maybe sometime last year, I was like, man, am I turning conservative? Am I more you know, like you know, things that I might have not cringed at before I cringe now at? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to come to grips with in my in my age now. Hi Christian, kumusta? Welcome to Kumu.
I think it's good to to evaluate what your thoughts are and what your stances are. I think that's a good and healthy thing. But I mean, I think basically as long as you understand that it's just entertainment and you understand that this is a character and not like, you know, like this person is a character, right? And whether or not you're entertained by it, you know, if you're entertained by a character who's being really shitty and you find him funny, I don't know if that's really that much of an issue. Obviously, but if you see something like that in real life and you start laughing about it, then it's like, you know, then there might be something wrong there, right? Yeah. Like if you see a white guy beating up a black guy on the street and you're just laughing because the dude's telling jokes while he's doing it, then that's kind of like, ooh, you might have an issue, right? But if you're watching a TV show and they're doing stuff like that, it's like, it could be that you just have like a dark sense of humor and you understand that this is fake, you know? I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't reevaluate occasionally, but I don't know if it's as bad as we think it is.
I was gonna say I seen this one conversation. I joined this one group because they had it's called Forgotten Wrestling Images, right?
Okay.
And it's a whole bunch of rare pictures. I was like, all right, let me join this. You ready, Jay? Get Jay on the stream. What's up, Jason?
What's up?
All right, so we're just, I don't know, let's just jump in conversation. So I was going to say, I joined this one group, and the name of the group is Forgotten Wrestling Images. And right now, since we're talking about characters and despicable stuff, a guy posted a picture, of course, of Chris Benoit. And of course, the thread is going to go somewhere, right? Where they're talking about, do you separate the character? Can you enjoy watching his matches without, you know, blah, blah, blah. This is, you know what I mean? And this is something I think that we've talked about before. Hey, what's up, Charlie Mack? How are you? So, of course, the thread is long again, you know, and I'm reading through it, and I didn't want to comment. You know what I mean? This time, usually I probably would. You know what I mean? But I more wanted to comment on, like, well, fuck, I'm glad I know the people in the group, because then you start looking at other posts and you start, like, you know, somebody might post, we just talked about racism, right? Or not racism, but, you know, these weird things that, you know, Joff had brought up the guy's name, right? Being a something towards Nazism or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had brought up another picture showing something like that. So when people are still defending the picture, talking about you guys are too sensitive nowadays, you know what I mean? To be offended
Yeah.
by stuff like this, it was like, dude, it wasn't okay back then, right?
Yeah.
Shit wasn't okay back then. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just again like seeing that group, it makes you think of, we talked about the sharing of being on social media and all that stuff. So when you see people's thoughts, when you see people's feelings towards, and what Ninja said, these people are our age. You know what I mean? These people might be people that we grew up with and went to school with. You know what I mean? So that's again, it's kind of weird to see that stuff more. It invades our private lives where we're just trying to enjoy something, and those type of topics will creep into the things that we enjoy, whether it's just some nerdy shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just so yeah, insane. Shout out to Kambal Tuko. Kumusta? Welcome to Kumu. Hope you're doing well. We're about 50 minutes in. This is episode 128 of the Hub 408. You're in the house with Jay Jericho, Jofsimus Prime, Ninja Iceberg, me, Ron, Sarah. Happy Friday. Hope you guys are doing well. We have nothing planned for
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nothing planned. Nothing
Actually,
planned.
I was actually running, I was running errands today, but I know I was talking to Ron, so me and Joe were at Target because I had to go buy my goddaughter's birthday gift because her birthday's tomorrow.
Very good.
They did not have any more Hot Wheels left.
You never do.
Yeah. However, I got
Hi,
you.
Joe.
I got you some matchboxes. So
Is it the Ryu Asada version?
right
there?
Yeah, right there. This one was for you. I
Very
got that
beautiful.
one, and then I got the old school Subaru pickup truck for you from Japan. So
Oh shit.
I got
That's hype.
It is, right? This is the only one left too.
I used to drive. Shout out to what's the name of that right there?
The truck.
Yes,
It's a Sandbar. It's a Subaru Sandbar.
I used to drive something like that when I delivered water in the Philippines in 2007, working for the water company Aqua 2000. I hated delivering water, but we would drive in a truck similar to that. What up, Joe? And it was a white one, but it basically had the same multi-cab, and it's such a dangerous vehicle to be driving. Did not enjoy that. There'd be three of us sitting in the front, you know what I mean?
What?
And there'd be like 48 5-gallon, you know what I mean? I don't know. We would pile it up, but I was gonna say to that multi-cab. Well, we called it a multi-cab, so yeah.
But yeah, it's like I got you this one too, though. So it's
Awesome.
also a Subaru.
Yes.
I know you're looking for Asian imports right now, so
Yes.
I came across two.
Shout out to Ryu Asada. That's the guy that recently passed away. He was a Hot Wheels designer that gave us all the wonderful imports that we see now. Gave us the Jeepney too. Yeah. He's the one that designed the Hot Wheels Jeepney. So shout out to him. You know what I mean? Died of cancer at 40 years old. Young guy.
Dang. Yeah.
Crazy.
I don't have it on me right now, but I got something from Target as well. It's the stealth suit Captain Carter figurine. Yeah, it's pretty dope. I don't have it on me. I don't have it here right now. I actually had to get my my girlfriend to order it from me from Target because they didn't have it anywhere. Like they were not in stock anywhere, so I had her order it because she has a Target card.
Target cards, man.
Yeah, but yeah, the stealth suit Captain Carter. Like I have the Captain Carter, like the regular Captain Carter figure, because she is honestly my favorite What If character. And I honestly just love the design, the Union Jack and all that kind of stuff. But I really like the stealth suit one where it's
See, the Hydra Stomper, that's expensive. It's like $50.
Is it $50? Yeah, no,
Wait,
I stayed away from that.
Is it the Lego one or the actual?
No, the actual
figure?
Marvel Legends Hydra Stomper. It's $50
because it's pretty big, right?
Yeah, it's huge.
It's pretty
heavy.
big, and you can put Steve Rogers in it. Yeah,
it's pretty heavy.
Yeah,
That's insane, dude.
But it looks plasticky. I mean, you could probably paint it, make it
sure.
Mm-hmm. But it looks for $50. That look fucking decent.
No,
that's only $50 actually.
That's only $50. Yeah, that's probably gonna be kind of crap. You're probably looking at like $220 for a really nice looking Hydra Stomper figure, probably.
I mean, you could
at least it's not a build-a figure.
You could paint it, make it look nice with all the battle damage and stuff.
Do you think we'll see Captain Carter in real life?
In MCU somewhere?
Yeah.
Man. I don't know. Probably not.
I think anything is so possible now, right?
Yeah.
I fell into a wormhole where this article said Michael Keaton was and always will be the best Batman ever. So I'm gonna click on this. You know, and
that guy could fuck himself. Whoever wrote that,
because it's Kevin Conroy. Kevin Conroy is the right answer.
It's fucking Ben Affleck.
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Well,
get the fuck out of here.
I'm just saying, anything now is possible. What if these guys? Okay, like we're all nerding out over the Marvel shit, right? What if they start bringing the horrible? What if they're like, "Yo, Clooney, I think you got a fucking chance."
Multiverse Batman. Oh my god.
Halle Berry.
Yeah.
Halle Berry, why don't you come in real quick?
Chris O'Donnell.
You feel
comes
me?
back as Nightwing.
I'm just saying.
Well, okay. It is possible just because the Flash movie is
Arnold
basically
Schwarzenegger.
that, right? Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger could come back. You know what I mean? I'm just saying these guys. Jim Carrey.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Flash movie is supposed to be a multiverse thing, and I believe Michael Keaton Batman is appearing in that one. So
he's appearing in 2 movies. He's appearing in this. He's appearing in Batgirl, which is a HBO movie, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So like,
yeah,
you know, like me, I may be in the minority here, but I love the Michael. I was 9 years old. That's one of the best fucking movies ever. You know what I mean? So, like, I love that rendition of him, and I'm actually kind of juiced to see him as an older dude. Is this really? It's kind of like, wow, this Batman at this age, is he really still going to be under a suit? He was during the comics, though. So if they translate this kind of well on screen, I might like, oh wow, okay, I might be in for some, because again, you know what I did this weekend, Joff? You know what I did this weekend? I tried to convince myself that Ben Affleck and them were fucking good. So you know what I did again? You know what I did again?
Did you watch Justice League?
I watched Justice League. Why? I watched fucking Batman versus Superman.
Oh my
to
god!
Try to look at, see if I felt any different after all this time. And
did you watch the black and white one though?
Yeah.
See, that's your problem. You didn't watch the Justice is Gray one.
It's the same. It's the same movie, right?
No, that's the best version. That's how Snyder meant it to be. It's like, Justice is Gray, bro.
But remember, I told you guys that my hot take on it was I thought the movie was fucking better the fucking first time, and I didn't even like the movie better the first time.
You wasted a lot of hours. You should just watch the freaking Justice's Gray version.
I try to convince myself
that had the better story.
Ninja
Gray had the better story.
I try to convince myself that when he's like, "Why did you say that name?" You know what I mean? When Ben Affleck screaming, "Why did you say that name?"
Oh, that was in
Batman versus Superman. Of course, I had to go through it. and see if I
Oh my
really
god!
fucking.
Did you watch all of it? Holy shit!
Yeah, I
dude.
didn't. I did not watch all of it. I just watched. I was very selective in the parts that I was
Okay.
watching. But
Okay.
I
See,
wanted to.
you should have watched Justice is Great. That's the better version, dog. Better
Is it?
story.
On a scale of on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give Justice is Great? What do you give that?
It's fucking 12.
Oh my god! Here's a hot take. What movie is it? What Marvel movie is it better than?
Uh, Electra.
Wow. Wow. It's better than the Daredevil Ben Affleck. Oh no, it's not better than Daredevil Ben Affleck.
No,
movie, is
it's
it?
not better.
Yeah, that movie's like top 5.
Wait.
Dude, Electra, I fell asleep actually. It's like I came in, it's like, and then I woke up. It's like end credits. It's like, oh shit, movie sucked.
Hey, yo, Joff, would you be open to a multiverse Ben Affleck returning as Daredevil? Would you be open to that?
Of course he would.
No,
Would you be-
man.
No,
Get out
no.
of here, dude. Get out of here.
No, he's Batman now. Can't.
You're lying out of your
He's Batman
Dude,
now.
get the
He's Batman
get the
now.
hell
No,
out of here,
no.
dude.
No,
He
but he
upgraded.
denounced. He denounced, dude. And this is
He
what I
upgraded, dog. He
Maybe-
upgraded.
Yeah,
He's
and then he
Batman
said it
now.
was the worst filming experience ever.
exactly. And maybe that's why I went and watched those movies again to see if I fucking if it changed my mind, or if I felt the same way he did, and him and Jeremy Irons also, who played Alfred Sidman. That filming those movies were horrible, and I'm just like, dang, it kind of kills.
Man,
I don't know.
he's Batman now.
How can you just?
Charlie Cox is Daredevil.
Yeah, he is, but you can also multiverse. I mean, Tom Holland
Yeah,
is the Spider-Man, but we just saw that they fucking multiverse that shit.
Yeah, but,
Spider-Verse that
you know.
shit.
Would you get mad if they did his Daredevil justice, like how they did Spider-Man?
Chris
They
Evans is not
did
coming
Andrew
back.
Garfield justice. They did.
Chris
Toby-
Evans is not coming back as fucking Johnny Storm. So you know.
Oh, but what if he does? What if he does? You don't know. You don't
It's
know.
a mind fuck, dude. I'm just saying. Would you get mad though if Ben Affleck did a better job at like this current version of Daredevil than he did Batman? Would you get mad, or would you salute that?
Hey man, it's Ben Affleck. Hey, if he could get J Lo back, he could grow. He could do anything, bro.
he can get Daredevil back. Yeah, if he can get Daredevil back, he can get Daredevil back. Facts, spitting facts.
Yeah, I don't know if I would. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if we're talking about opening up, I know, and you guys saw the variants of the Hub 408. You know what I mean? I made a poster of the variants of the Hub 408.
Oh yeah.
Who could be us, right?
What? Why you gotta be TC for?
We don't know that. He was just in that role. He's playing you. I don't know why Shinsuke Nakamura was there. You know what I mean? He was playing me. I don't know if the guy from Crazy Rich Asians was there for Waldo, right? The brother, right? But he was there. That was him. And I don't know why for Joff it was
Guy
the guy
Fawkes.
from Guy Fawkes, right? He was there. You feel me? I don't know. There was a French actor that died today. Snow A09 is saying he was in the Marvels.
He was in Moon Knight. There's a French actor that died skiing. I think he was 37 years old.
Yeah, that sucks.
He's in Moon Knight. He was in the Moon Knight. He's going to be in the Moon Knight TV show. Which y'all watch that trailer? I mean, I know this is a weird way to switch, but anyways, yeah, that guy apparently. I don't really know him, but yeah, he's supposed to be in the new Moon Knight TV show and died skiing. So,
Yo, I feel bad for that dude. Go ahead, Joff.
Are you guys caught up to Mandalorian or what?
Boba Fett.
I mean, yeah, Boba Fett.
Yeah,
Not yet.
episode 4 is actually pretty good. It's weird. I think you're right,
Didn't
dude.
switch,
I think
didn't
you're.
switch you, did you?
No.
Did they turn you yet?
I think Joffrey's right, dude. The Robert Rodriguez ones definitely are the ones that are not that good.
Yeah.
Because this episode 4 is Kevin Tancharoen, and he did some Agents of Shields stuff. He directed a lot of the episodes that have like one shot sequences. In Agents of Shield, yeah, like the one with there's one where Daisy's like fighting people in the morgue, and it's all one take. Yeah, I think that was him. Like he does a lot of more action heavy episodes, which honestly I think is wasted in this last Boba Fett episode because the action is like it's fine, it's serviceable, but it's definitely a better episode than the third episode.
my man, BK. Man, he's a hater, dog. Out in the club, fucking salty and shit. Fucking Trandoshans flossing, fucking
Definitely hater.
Fucking,
Definitely.
flossing in the club. Yeah, he hating.
Yeah, Black Chrysanthemum.
BK.
Black Chrysanthemum cannot hold the L. BK cannot hold an L at all.
Yeah,
it's like,
dude,
bro,
he's like, fucking,
hold that L, dude. Hold that L. Come back again.
These Trandoshan flossing on him. And shit.
Do you think it's wrong that
Hey, he can't. Do
you think
can't hold it?
Do you think
he can't appreciate people fucking shining?
Do you think it's wrong though that? Do you think though it's wrong that he's a black Wookiee and he's filled with so much rage, more rage than it's almost.
And his name is Black Chrysanthemum.
Yeah, it's almost.
Are they perpetuating a stereotype of?
Yeah, the angry black Wookiee. You know what I mean, right?
I mean, Black Panther. Same thing.
Well. Is he the same thing? Is he? Did he?
Black?
Did Black Panther flex on some Trandoshans in a fucking like club?
Africa
because he was angry. I don't think T'Challa was ever angry like that.
Hey, he was angry, dog. Fucking Bucky killed his pops, or fucking not Bucky. Fucking Zemo.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and what did he do at the end of that movie? He didn't take him out like
Yeah, he was angry though.
Sure. but he became but then he got
of course, dude.
Yeah. Black Chrysanthemum just got owned by some fucking like street kids.
Shit.
Yeah. Black Panther's dad got killed by an explosion, and he was taking revenge. Black Chrysanthemum got owned by like a couple of kids. I mean, come on.
No, not a couple. Like fucking all of Boba Fett's crew, fucking those fucking dudes. The Gamorrean two dudes.
And then he fell into the Rancor hole with no Rancor, and then he ran away. At the end of the episode. Oh no, sorry. He shuffled away. Did you see how he shuffled away after the Hutts was like, yeah. Let him go, whatever. He shuffled away.
I'm gonna start using that now. Like,
Salty,
there's a lot of fucking. They use Slimo a lot.
Slimo. It's like you shithead, right?
Ichuta.
Eat shit, right?
Ichuta. I'm gonna start
Dak
saying
Furrick or whatever. What is that? It's like their motherfucker.
Dank Ferrick.
That's their motherfucker, right?
I will say the Star Wars curse words. Yeah. Star Wars curse words are so weird. It's like, you bantha fodder, scruffy looking nerf herder. Sith spawn was a huge one in like in the comics and the novel. Sith spawn.
Fucking bring back wizard, fool. It's like, instead of awesome, saying awesome, like, oh shit, that's fucking wizard, bro.
You're so wizard, Addy.
Okay.
My heart. Annie, you're breaking my heart. That's a Sleemo.
Annie, you're breaking my
That one.
You're breaking my heart. Annie.
Remember when he turned on George Bush at the end of he's like, "You're either with us or you're against us," when he was talking to Obi-Wan, right? Like, he had a speech that was so similar to George Bush Jr. And when that movie came out, I was like, "Oh, I just seen that speech, dude." Like, the wording is very similar. You know what I mean? So I love how they were giving us even way back then. Oh my god.
It's Obi-Wan. He's jealous of me. Holding me back.
Yeah.
When he throws the thing against the wall, right? Hayden Christensen, right? Everyone's awaiting his return, right? Yeah. And then you Obi-Wan series, right? They're like,
which is kind of
that's weird, right? They're like, I can't wait for Hayden to come back. I'm like, you guys hated him,
weird.
But you guys fucking hated him.
He got the shit end of the stick. This is the fucking dialogue. It's fucking trash.
I hate sand.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I hate sand.
Yeah, it's coarse. It gets everywhere. It's like, oh god. No. I'm not faulting Hayden Christensen for that. It's just kind of weird where it is kind of weird. It's kind of like Andrew Garfield.
He was a heartthrob, no? Right?
Sort of, I guess.
Was he a heartthrob?
I guess.
I don't know.
I have no fucking idea.
Hell yeah.
But he's kind of like Andrew. He's kind of like Andrew Garfield.
I don't think he was a heartthrob, Jay. I don't think he was though. I don't think he had enough movies to be a heartthrob.
It was either him or James Franco.
That was gonna be Obi-Wan.
Yeah. No. Anakin.
Oh, Anakin.
It was, and George Lucas went with Hayden.
Oh wow.
Probably the better choice looking back now, just because James Franco is kind of problematic now. So.
What up, James? How are you? How's it going? I didn't know that was the original choice, though. That's pretty
Yeah, kind of.
They dodged a bullet on that one. Not a good pickup.
I don't think it would have mattered because honestly, the prequel movies were just not good. So I don't know if he would have elevated the material that he would have been given.
Again, I'm probably gonna watch those movies again to convince myself that they were good. I like doing
prequel movies.
Watching movies and trying to convince myself that they're good movies.
I think
you guys should try it.
I think that's a good idea, honestly, because honestly, on a rewatch, Age of Ultron is actually not that bad. But I think it's because now that I know how it's all ended, it fits in with it fits in with the rest of the series. You get what I'm saying? If you watch the entire thing front to back, Age of Ultron actually kind of fits in, and actually does work as an Avengers movie, given the totality of the series. Like I actually watched it recently. I was like, oh wow, this is actually not as bad as I remembered. It's actually better than I remembered. And I think it's because a lot of it is Ultron throwing shade at Tony Stark, right? And after 10 years of Tony Stark, you kind of get a better idea of what it is. It's just that Ultron points it out like super early. And or not super early. He points it out, at that point in time, and you're kind of like, oh wow, yeah, that is actually some really good insight and character development for Tony Stark. So, I haven't watched Thor: The Dark World again.
Great movie.
I haven't rewatched that, so I don't know if I can.
That. I always like The Dark World.
Yeah, okay, guys.
Dude,
no, I did. Yeah.
Calm down with your hot
just
takes.
like Spider-Man 3.
No, I haven't seen Spider-Man 3, but I always like Thor: The Dark World.
Would you play? What would it be like what movie is it better in terms of the MCU? Iron Man 3?
No. Iron Man
Black
2,
Widow?
maybe.
Is it better than Black Widow?
You're
Wait,
tripping. Iron Man 2 is a
you're
classic. Dude.
you're saying Thor: The Dark World is better than Iron Man 2?
Probably.
Nah.
Wow.
That's actually, you know what? Yeah, I think that you could argue that maybe. I think maybe you could argue that. But I like.
It's not better than Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 is pretty good.
Iron Man 2 is pretty fucking good though too. Come on, that's Justin Hammer, right? Where he's dancing.
Yeah, Justin Hammer and
dude, that's fucking amazing. Just that scene alone. Yeah, my bird, right? My bird.
my bird. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I like it better than Black Widow. I don't know, because it seemed like Black Widow's inconsequential. I was like, oh, who cares about Black Widow? Fucking, she's dead.
That movie's dope. I enjoyed that. But I was gonna say no. I honestly liked Dark World because it was serious. It was like the last serious Marvel movie, right? Where it's like, all right, then we can kind of laugh at ourselves and have fun on these next movies. You know,
what? Civil War wasn't serious. I think Thor came out. I think Thor came out before that, right?
Yes.
And then Infinity War and Endgame are pretty.
Of course, going into something big. But I'm just saying, like, I think when we're doing those initial movies at first, they were very serious, like the Hulk movies. Attempt to do a Hulk movie.
The original ones were definitely a lot more serious. Yeah, for sure.
Oh damn, we can get an Eric Bana Hulk from the multiverse. Huh?
That's true. We could.
Remember when he's doing the famous line where he's like, boom, boom.
Actually,
he's like, it's horrible.
Actually, I don't think we can get a Eric Bana because it's technically the same universe, I believe. Because the Eric Bana and the Ed Norton and then the Mark Ruffalo stuff is all still kind of the same.
They're the same guy. Just like how Don Cheadle is the same guy as Next Time, baby.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What's his fucking name now?
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. There you go.
Next time, man.
Yeah.
It's Maine Howard. Maine.
What's wrong with you, man?
Yeah,
it's T-Maine. His name is
T-Maine. I mean, unless you... I mean, I guess you could bring them back as in a world where they didn't change actors, I guess.
Oh, the actors that didn't change, yes.
Yeah, you could be like, oh, he comes from a universe where he looks like this and never changed faces or something. I guess you could do that, but technically they're the same. It's the same universe.
Then you know how they always bring back Aunt May from the dead in like the comic books? Then we can just use the old ass Aunt May from back in the day, right? We'll just like CG her on like a different body, right?
Just bring back Sally Field.
She'll be out running around.
No, just bring Sally Field back. Yeah, you can bring Sally Field back.
She was a sorry ass Aunt May, right? Did you guys like her performance?
I think.
Did you like?
I think all the Aunt Mays have been solid, but they didn't really do much with those Aunt Mays. I think Marissa Tomei's Aunt May probably had the most to do because she was actually active.
You didn't like you didn't like old ass Aunt May? You don't think that's the version of Aunt May?
I think they were all good. I'm not saying they weren't good. I'm just saying that the previous Aunt Mays weren't given as much to do. But Marissa Tomei's Aunt May. But that's because, but like I said, it's because she was actually more active in Peter Parker's life. She was actually a part of his life, right? Like she found out who Spider-Man was in the first movie, Whereas the other Aunt Mays, they never found out, and they were not really a part of the storyline. You could have taken out Aunt May in both of the previous franchises and it would have been the same movie.
But who do you prefer, Jay? Which Aunt May do you prefer?
I'm gonna have to go with the Marissa on this one because there was no Ben, there was no Uncle Ben, so she had to play both in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So
There you go.
So yeah, Tom Holland's Peter Parker. He has no one. He has no elder to fall back on, except for Happy. But Happy don't know
Not
who the hell he
anymore.
is. Yeah,
Not
so
anymore.
so he's pretty much on his own. At least with Andrew and Toby, they still had a couple people to lean on. A few, not that much, but a few.
All right. Joff, what about you? And again, Joff, this is not which Aunt May you would bang. This is which Aunt May you prefer. So, which Aunt May do you prefer?
And why?
Who made the better sandwich? Was it Sally Fields?
May I don't know. I think the original Aunt May. Remember how we brought hella. Wait, no. Which one was that? Oh, that was Sally Fields. Remember he brought hella food up to his room. I don't know if you guys remember that scene, but there was just hella food.
The old Aunt May, she probably like cook bland food. I don't know. She looked like she doesn't like have flavor in her food and shit.
Toby's Aunt May.
Yeah.
Right.
Sally Field like fucking Food Network's around, so she probably learned some shit. So I'll go with that Aunt May. She
All right. Now,
looks
which
like she cooks delicious food.
All right, now FMK, those Aunt Mays. FMK, those Aunt Mays right there.
So, what? What?
FMK.
I don't-
FMK, those three Aunt Mays.
I don't want to.
Go ahead, Joff. Start it off.
Well, I don't gotta kill fucking Toby, fucking Aunt May, because she probably dying fucking pretty soon. So
She's dead already, by the way.
R.I.P.
She's dead. She's dead.
sorry.
You didn't have to do anything. It's already been
Yeah.
taken care of for you.
So yeah. So marry her for the inheritance, right?
Nah, she looked like she broke.
She has a house though. She got a house though, dog.
No, remember, you guys didn't watch number 3. She had to move out.
Yeah, she moved out.
She had to move.
They moved her into an apartment.
Yeah, I didn't see. I didn't see
Yeah,
number 3.
I did. I honestly don't remember that though.
Oh
I
my
did
God.
watch it. I just don't remember it.
Dude, convince yourself that's a good movie, dude. Go and watch Spider-Man. All right, Joff. So, who would you FMK? You would the old Aunt May's dead already, right?
Yeah. So
Oh my god. All right, Joff, go ahead. I'm sorry.
shit.
Marched, huh?
I mean, I go marry Marissa Tomei.
Sure. You would marry
She larbs me.
Oh, what happened?
Oh,
Joff,
no.
pretty sweet.
He got canceled
Nah,
right
nah.
there. Yeah, live canceled right there. Banned.
Because Marissa Tomei, she larbs me.
Oh my god.
And then Sally Field,
Banger.
you're gonna have fun with
Banger.
Sally Field.
Banger. Yeah.
Break
Okay.
her hip or some shit.
Yeah. Get with Gidget.
I'm gonna borrow Burt Reynolds Trans Am and shit. We're gonna
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with Joffrey's picks right there. I'm good. I'll just go with that. I second that.
What about you, Jason? Would you switch those up? Would you switch those up? Y'all ain't trying to have the old Aunt May? Y'all ain't trying to taste that?
Nah, man.
That's that Great Depression.
But I would just switch. I would switch
Fucking
Marissa and
soup,
Sally Fields.
soup kitchen.
Soup kitchen
Fucking
inside of a Prius.
Oh my god.
damn, fucking a piece of bread and fucking some soup. Shit. Damn.
Heard Uncle Ben went through a lot, dude. Feel me? He went through hella wars. Just saying. Jason, but who would you switch up again? I'm sorry.
Marissa and Sally. So I would marry Sally Fields because she has they had the better house.
the
They
good
had the better
neighborhood,
house.
huh?
Yeah,
Yes.
they had the better house. So
Was it an apartment still, or were they really in a house? Oh, they were in a house, huh?
yeah.
I think they were in a house.
So yeah, man.
Hey, Toby's Uncle Ben looks like he only does he's just a missionary, man. That's all. He's a one move dude. I'm thinking about like you go in there. It's like having a cell phone fucking in the past, right? You got all these techniques, fucking blow her mind and shit. Because fucking Uncle Ben is just missionary, man. You're out here like a fucking revolutionary. You know what I mean? Something to consider.
Oh fuck, dude. No, I'd switch it up. I would probably marry the oldest Aunt May, right? Because she probably won't die. You know what I mean? So you get to have her around, right? Get rid of Sally Fields and just
won't die. What do you mean?
Yeah, she reminds me of the Aunt May in the comic books, where I mean, they don't. She
True.
you don't
Okay,
die.
I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She has that look, right? Like and like I said,
Right.
Jason, they could always like bring her back, just CG her like onto a young person's face and have her like being chased around by a Doc Ock again or something. I don't know. But I'm
I
just
don't know
saying,
how worth it that is.
that'd be awesome, right? If you could get him and Uncle Ben too. You know how Josh
It'd be
brought up
hilarious.
Uncle Ben, right? They always showed Uncle Ben like in the car seat with that sad look on his face. Like I want to see him in happier times, right? You want to see him in happier times. I was gonna say, you think we'll ever get
That Uncle
Peter's
Ben
parents?
just looks like he hit a face to face and shit. Just like some love.
Bessie is saying maybe she invented the blowjob. The old Aunt May. Yeah. You feel me? It's that depression, right? It's that depression pee. You feel me? They've been through hella wars together. She was married to somebody from the Bataan Death March.
Fucked up.
Damn, that's fucked up.
Damn.
Hey, my shout out to my grandpa. He did survive that. That's only why I joke about that. I actually watched something the other night about it too. And all these people. That's why I was just
I'm
oh man.
I'm glad I'm not the one who said the most horrible shit tonight. So
There you see, home videos are probably technical.
Congratulations.
We go there, right? Dude, that's very advanced humor too, right? It's a very advanced joke. It's a very advanced joke. Always here to offend on the Hub 408. My name is Ron Starr. This is episode 128 of the Hub 408. You're in the house with Ninja Iceberg. Probably the least offensive person here. Jay Jericho, and actually the most offensive person besides me, Jofsimus, down there at the bottom. Make sure you guys follow us. You know what I mean? If you want to be.
I think from a certain point of view, I could be pretty offensive.
There you go. When have you felt you've been on the offense? Recently? Recently?
When
I do remember that one time though. I do
when
remember that one
people
time.
want to talk, when people want to talk to me about stuff.
No, I remember when that one guy came in, and then you were like, "Step up, show receipts. What's up?" And that was like such a classic moment where you call somebody out to step up and you know challenge us. Right? We're giving you an open forum. It's like you're coming into our dojo. You know what I mean? We're allowing you on our mat. Come and step up, and he did it. You know what I mean? So, and he
Yeah.
still tried to love us. You know what I mean? He still tried to be our friend and hella like what? Oh, what's up, Joff? What's up, Chase? What's up? Like, like, come on, guys. All right.
But yeah, I think some people might find me offensive. People who are like, "Oh, you wear masks? What a loser!" You know, those kinds of people. Or
Oh,
no, just anything. You want housing for everybody? You want that to be a universal right? Well, how? Why would? Well, I'm sure someone would find that offensive. Someone would find that view offensive. But yeah, no, I agree. Joff is the most offensive.
Joff is our.
He's
I'm.
our
I'm.
hot take machine.
Hold on, hold on. Maybe. Maybe sometimes I'm EJ. Maybe sometimes Ninja is EJ. But Jay has to be Shaq, and Joff is Charles Barkley. That's that's how I line it. I line it up.
I do love Krispy Kreme.
You and the Chuckster both love
Yeah.
donuts, right?
Yeah, we do. I mean, it's on my hat. Krispy Kreme. Me and Chuck, we love Krispy Kreme.
He is a big Krispy Kreme fan.
Yeah.
No, but also Chuck will also give real takes. May not be the most popular take, but it's always a lightning rod. You feel me?
That's true. That's true. The Warriors can't shoot their way into a championship. Yes, that's best take he's ever had.
Who, Charles Barkley?
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry, I'm taking a bite.
just saying. Just saying.
Well, even though Barkley would know more than Joff, I do like Joff's basketball taste. I don't think Joff has ever sent anything out of pocket that was super crazy. Of course, Jason knows his shit too. You know what I mean? I only compared you to Shaq, Jason, because of your
I feel like
size.
his Bobby Sura take is pretty fiery.
We totally forgot about Bobby Sura.
Fucking slam dunk champ, bro.
Bobby
He was
Sarah's
the
like
champ.
Bobby Sarah's like Dallas, one and done.
Okay.
Which Bobby Sura jersey would you want
The Warriors one.
out of all of them? Would it be the Warriors one? Is that your favorite version of it? You didn't like it when he was Cleveland's hope, right? Best player on Cleveland.
Was he in Minnesota?
No.
Or am I thinking like Wally Zerbiak or some shit?
I think
Fucking-
another great
fucking
player.
Jake?
Very good. You know, Jake had the most funniest takes also. So sometimes I would associate certain players with Jake. Kind of like a
what?
Wally Zerbiak. Also, who's that kid that cried in the NCAA finals and then he smelled in real life, and he got like kicked out of the NBA. Not to say that Jacob smelled or
What?
anything.
What?
Huh?
Who?
He was from Gonzaga, I think. He had the long hair.
Oh,
Adam Morrison.
Adam Morrison.
Adam Morrison.
There you go. Yeah, he like cried. Remember at the end of the game, and then like he hella smelled. They said that he everyone hated defending him because he smelled bad. Look it up. Look it up.
What?
Yeah, Adam
Yeah.
Morrison.
I don't
Smelly
remember
player,
any of
guys.
that.
Did not take showers. Did not take baths. So people
Wow.
hated guarding him.
Okay.
That's a good strategy. But
Is
your
it?
teammates hate you too, so.
Shout out to Petrovic, right? I believe he was
Drazen?
also Drazen. He was
Drazen
also another
Petrovic.
smelly player. I believe that's Reggie Miller had told that story.
Was he? Didn't he only play like 1 year, 2 years?
I don't know. Maybe, but he was a smelly player. Smelly enough that he beat Michael Jordan a couple of nights. You feel me? Go look up those games. Pretty good games too. He took
Drazen
Michael to the red.
Petrovic. I mean, he died young, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Car accident.
Yeah.
At the height of his career. 30 years old, I believe. Young guy.
He was just reaching his prime.
Yeah. But again, a smelly player. Rest in peace. He was a smelly player. Right?
Well,
Jason, he was a smelly player,
I guess.
dude.
I guess that's relevant.
Well, Joff said it's a good defense, right?
Yeah, it
It's
is.
a good strategy.
If no one wants to post up on you,
You know, you get those
Then-
athletes that, oh, God, I'll never wash my undershirt
Yeah,
for
that's
14 games. right?
football shit right there for sure.
Yeah. Right?
I'm pretty
Those
sure
are the guys
baseball,
that, like-
baseball people do that too.
I won't wash my jock strap for 82, I don't know how many MLB games there are, 192 games. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I don't know. I'm just saying people do that type of stuff. Not me. Not me. No, I can't.
No, I watched everything, dude. I watched everything. Yeah, there's no way I was gonna wear dirty shit for game time. Like that shit smells, man.
Oh yeah,
That
it does.
That is not great. Not great.
Especially after when you're practicing and it's raining. That's even the worst. Smells
Well,
like
yeah,
mildew.
it's all muddy and oh.
Smells like mildew.
Or after like double days or something. Oh. Not fun. Not fun. I don't know why I ever played the game.
Cause you thought it would be cool.
I mean, honestly, it was fun. I'm just saying it was just gross a lot of times.
I just thought about, remember how you'd have your PE clothes in there all week, too, right? Like your shorts or your sweats. That's kind of gross, right? Wore that same shit like God, that's just mud from yesterday when we had to do the mile out by the basketball or out by the baseball. You know what I mean? Where sometimes they make you run a mile somewhere not where you're used to running to. You know what I mean? Then you got to wear it. But yeah, very gross. See Liana's gross emoji right there too. That's exactly how I feel. Because all of a sudden when you said after it rained, Jay, I was like, oh God, I remember that smell. That smell of just damp clothes in a small ass square locker. You know what I mean? Crazy. Anyway, this is a Hub 408. Happy Friday to you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, we're just hanging out. We had nothing planned today, so this was more of a freestyle episode. So yeah, we've gotten some pretty good takes, I guess that you could say from here. Shout out to you guys out there, and I don't know who's watching us on Facebook or Twitch, but shout out to you guys on YouTube if you happen to be watching us. If you happen to be watching us on Kumu or a replay, thank you for watching. We appreciate you guys. Anything else you guys want to bring up? We got some time. We got about 20 minutes left.
How do we start the show off? Well, what did I miss?
How did we start the show off?
Gunther.
Oh,
See, Jay knows.
that's that's when you need to know that Vince needs to step down and leave already, for sure.
And Jason, it transitioned to sometimes we have characters, whether they're from wrestling or movies or comic books, where they're super problematic, but somehow they end up popular. Like for me, an example that I had brought up was I love the Red Skull, but I'm not supposed to love the Red Skull. He was the right hand man of Adolf Hitler. You know what I mean? He was a super soldier created by Adolf Hitler to fight Captain America. But like, me and Waldo here talked about how they kind of in the 80s and 90s didn't really use him. You know, they would bring him back for certain things, but wasn't really, you know. So I'm just saying, we're just talking about certain characters that are just despicable people, yet we either praise or love him or whatever.
Or like James Bond. We didn't bring it up, but James Bond's kind of a terrible person. Han Solo, kind of a terrible person.
He abandoned you abandoned his kid to go run some spice, to go drug deal. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Well, he also basically like forced his way into, you know, Princess Leia's life.
Oh, by aggressively
going after her. Yeah. But back in the day that was called wooing, right?
Yes.
Nowadays it's kind of like, yo, take a hint.
Imagine if she never replied to his advances.
Yeah.
If she was still, just the...
She'd be fucking Luke. That's what's...
And then they would find out that they were brother and sister. Yeah. So they would have incest twins, maybe, right?
Yeah, see?
But they would be very strong in the Force then.
Would that have been the better movie? It would have been very Game of Thrones like, right? Like,
but that kid only had one eye, but strong on the Force.
But super strong on the Force. Super strong on the Force.
I was thinking more of what's his face from 300.
Dude, Leonidas?
No, the Hunchback.
No, that dude.
The Hunchback.
Yeah. That dude.
Like you.
And
really
then he's all fighting with the lightsaber,
turns out to be
right. He's like, right.
Yeah.
No, he wouldn't.
Just
even
a horrible looking pud of a guy, huh?
He wouldn't even have to. He's so strong in the Force. He doesn't need a lightsaber.
It's like
that guy got a wizard hat,
right?
He did get a wizard hat.
He got a wizard hat. He said
that would sell a lot of toys, huh? Some horrible looking guy like this, right?
Mm-hmm. Raise your shield.
I think a lot of people back in the day were kind of we love them, but are kind of problematic. You know, again, that's how they wrote people back in the day.
Bob Saget, is he problematic as Danny Tanner?
As Danny Tanner?
Anyway, yeah.
Dude.
In any way,
dude.
In any way.
He was problematic as the host of America's Funniest Home Videos.
Why?
Huh?
What's your take on it? Why was he problematic?
Because that wasn't him. He did it for he did that job for the money.
For the nookie?
Yeah.
For the bag. Look. He got the bag. I'm not gonna hate on him for that.
Yeah.
I gotta respect his hustle. I respect his hustle.
And that was the first YouTube channel, right? It was like almost like viral videos in a way, right?
Yeah, that was Tosh. That was Tosh.0 before Tosh.0.
You don't think that was him? I think that was very much him. Another side of him, I think.
He did that all as an act just to get paid money by ABC.
Of course. I mean, that's what he wants to. Liana saying half baked Bob Saget is my favorite.
That's true. He sucked dick for crap.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. I was trying to think of the line right now.
That was the true Bob Saget. R.I.P.
I've yet to let that sink in. Like, dang, dude, this guy is really gone too. You know, and I felt the same way about Norm Macdonald. Like, I watch a lot of Norm Macdonald stuff all the time, right?
Yeah.
So, like, even with Bob Saget, like, dang, this guy is really gone. That's crazy.
Yeah. And then Louis Anderson today.
Did not know that. So you're telling me right now for the first time. Dang, we lost Louis Anderson, huh?
Oh, yeah, that was today, cancer. And then Meatloaf also passed away today. So
Meatloaf?
If you guys were into Meatloaf.
Not really.
Super anti-vaxxer. Very started to go pretty right wing there at the end. Not sure if he died from COVID, but some people are saying he did, but I don't know if he actually did or not.
By the way, did you guys hear about the it was a mom, a singer, that intentionally got COVID?
Oh yeah. Was that some Czechoslovakian lady or something like that?
Yeah, her son and father, or her son and husband, both had it, and
they were vaxxed.
But she intentionally exposed herself to them, right, Jason?
Yeah.
Just so she can get certain privileges, I believe. Also,
no. So this is what. So the backstory is both her.
And I have the same birthday. I like the butt stuff song.
So both the son and the father, and the husband, like I said, I should say, the son and the husband were both vaccinated. She was not. They caught. I believe they caught Omicron. Either Delta or Omicron, and then she exposed herself to it to prove a point that you don't need to be vaxxed. And then to the point where when she tested negative, that's her proof of, just a proof of being tested negative that she could get into other places. But then when she tried to recover, the following day she got hella sick, and that was pretty much it for her.
And they said all it took was her back hurting. All of a sudden, she thought she was over it. And then her back was hurting. And within 10 minutes, I believe she was dead. So that's kind of scary. That. All right. There's weird stuff that goes on in the world. I don't know how relativity works and all that shit. I'm not whatever. Scientist. That's not my job. All I'm saying is when you fuck around, you know what I'm saying? When you out here fucking around, you know what I mean? That shit'll come back to bite you in the ass. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's called karma, not relativity.
Yeah, when you, I don't know. Like, again, I'm not a, you know what I mean? I don't know how things work. I'm not fucking Neil, whatever his name is. There you go.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not that guy. Somehow he could make all sense of this. I'm just saying, when you go out there and mess around and say, hey, I'm going to invite a virus into my system just to prove to y'all or whatever, just to, man, it's so ignorant. You know what I mean? That. And what if somebody were to hear that, but not really hear the consequences?
Yeah.
What if they just heard the initial part of that? You know? Mm-hmm. So they'd be like, oh, well, somebody else took it. That's okay.
Yeah.
So, kind of crazy that, you know. But then again, do you feel bad?
Not really.
Right?
Yeah.
That's kind of a hot take, right? It's like, damn, do you feel bad? Like, you feel bad? Of course, right? You feel bad.
I feel bad for the son. I feel bad for the son to lose his mom like that, but for but for her to do that, it's just like
for a person who intentionally did not get vaxxed and then intentionally gave themselves COVID, exposed themselves to COVID. I mean, that's the definition of fuck around and find out, right? That is literally definition. You chose to go down exactly that path. And we know that COVID, no matter what variant you get, if you're not vaccinated, can have the potential to be very damaging, right? And even if you survive, because the mortality rate of COVID is like, it's not super duper high. It's not like a 90% chance of death. It's fairly low, but we don't know the full long-term ramifications of getting COVID while unvaccinated. We don't really know what the full long-term ramifications of getting COVID while vaccinated is, right? But we do know that people who are unvaccinated and have gotten COVID are still suffering from some of the effects of it, right? So intentionally giving yourself a disease is probably like, why would you do that? Like, no one intentionally gives themselves the flu, right? Like, that's not a thing that you would go out and to prove a point, because why would you want to do that? It doesn't make any sense. Even if you think, oh, the flu is kind of nothing, it's a thing that everyone gets every single year. It's like, but why would you want to get it intentionally? It's just ridiculous thinking. So do I feel bad for her? Not really. You made two insanely ridiculous decisions and you ended up paying for it.
You ever see those anti-vaxxers that, or they just could be vloggers or just streamers or whatever that are just so anti-vax, and all of a sudden they start dying.
Yeah.
And then they're on their deathbed talking about, please get vaxxed.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen maybe more than one or two or three people.
Oh, there's definitely been a bunch, yeah.
And that's kind of crazy how. And I don't feel bad when I come across stories like that, even though I may not even click on the story. I might just see the headline.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, there you go, idiot. That's what you get. And now you're streaming your death.
Yeah.
You dying, which is kind of morose and fucked up at the same time.
Yeah.
Right?
And it doesn't do anything because the people that they're talking to are basically thinking that dude was weak for whatever reason. That dude had, comorbidities that I don't have. That dude had some kind of defect that I don't have. And I'm not going to die like that dude, even though you look exactly like that guy that just went through it all, even though you look like fucking Rush Limbaugh or whatever the fuck, and you got COVID, and you probably would die as well. They just don't think about it like that. They think about it like it's not going to happen to me. So, which is it's so weird. It's so weird. Doesn't make any sense.
Hi, Allison. How are you? Thank you for joining us today. We're talking about
villains.
Anything. Yeah.
We're talking about villains. I think that's the theme for today. Was kind of like villains, bad guys.
Bad guys that we are entertained by, but also are pieces of shit at the same time.
Are terrible people. Yeah.
King Joffrey.
He is very entertaining. To be fair, yeah, he is. His character is such a shitty person, but he is entertaining. And you definitely wanted to cheer for his demise. You cheered for a child's death, which was like, ooh, bravo to you, sir.
For making me feel that way, right? That I want this kid to die.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What about Michael Scott from The Office?
Is he a villain?
Yeah. It's fucking most non-productive boss.
It's not really a villain. He's incompetent and he's kind of a jerk. I don't know if he's a villain though.
You're on his ship.
Yeah.
I don't know why people just don't quit that place, but they want to stick around and sell paper.
Health insurance, probably. We live in America, remember? That paper place is probably one of the highest paying jobs in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
I I'm gonna say Jim.
Was
Jim's
a
a
villain.
villain. He's kind of
Yeah.
a villain. Yeah, he kind of is.
He
He
he broke
tormented people.
he he broke up our relationship just to get
That's
with
true.
Pam. Yeah,
He
so
did. He did. You are
villain.
correct.
He
And then he would
Daniel.
just do this, huh?
Yeah, he did
He just look at the camera.
Just look at the.
He
he
just be
da-
doing this, and he'd be like,
It'd be okay, right?
yeah.
just look at the
He
camera.
did.
Oh my god.
He pulled the Daniel LaRusso move.
Yeah, sure.
I loved when what's his name came to
True.
confront him too, huh? Right?
Who,
It was like
Johnny?
super awkward.
Yeah.
No, what's his name? God, what was Pam's husband name?
Oh, Roy?
Roy?
Yeah, remember when like he's like, hey, we're trying to cop a field helper? Like he just it was like the whole trying to cop a couple times too. I think he tried to swing at him, right? Try to swing at him.
Yeah. Very awkward.
Nothing wrong with Roy though. Good guy there. There you go. God, we have about give or take 4 minutes. Anything y'all want to get out? We're done with this episode.
I don't really have anything, no.
Joff,
I
anything
can't
in
think-
Joff's junket? Jason's corner? None of y'all?
No, not really. Yeah. Still thinking of a villain that I like. Oh, Shane, dog.
Oh, from The Walking Dead?
My boy Shane. Bro. You got a
Shane.
weak boy, Rick.
Shane McMahon? I was gonna-
Rick.
Got a weak.
Oh my god.
All the while it's fucking taxing, fucking, you know.
Yeah.
His best friend's wife, huh?
Yeah.
That's hot, right?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, she's like, oh, my husband died in some hospital. He's probably a zombie now. I don't care about him. I'll just sleep with his best friend who's also a sheriff and he'll protect me. Right?
Yeah. Oh, did y'all see this this thing that was trending today? West Elm Caleb?
West Elm Caleb, no.
Yeah. So this was like a TikTok thing that kind of blew up today, where it started off with apparently one girl talking about this date that she went on for like a couple days. She went on a couple dates with him, and then he ghosted her, and she made a TikTok about it, and one of the other people watching it was like, "Oh, was it this guy?" And apparently, they were like, "Yeah, it was this guy," and they started talking about it. And then other people started jumping on this train, and all of a sudden, this guy West Elm Caleb in New York City started trending because he's a serial dater is really what it is. He
he's horrible. And he's a horrible date.
Not really. Apparently, he's actually a pretty good date, but he ghosts them or something. And
he's ghosting all these chicks. Just
yeah,
like going on one date with them and just like, all right, I don't want to talk to you no more.
Yeah, but part of the other problem is that he goes on a date with a girl for like breakfast, and then he goes on another date for lunch, and he goes like on another date for dinner, kind of thing. You know, like he does back-to-back dates. He does like he dates multiple girls in the same day, and you know these girls all found out that they were all kind of dating the same guy, and so yeah, so this guy just started blowing up. So this topic started blowing up. on the internet because the dude is like, these girls are basically saying like, yo, what the fuck, you know? But it turns out he's just a shitty guy. You know, he is
He's
just
just
kind of
going
a
on
jerk.
multiple
But
dates. That's all he's
but
doing.
yeah, but that's all he's really doing. Yeah, he might have. I don't know if this is true. He might have been sending dick pics before they went on a date, but I don't really know how true that is.
I wonder what this guy's angle is, what his end game is, because he's definitely not trying to smash, right?
I think he might have.
Oh,
I think
okay.
he might have.
I thought
like,
he's just
one
dating
night
people,
standing some of these girls.
or
Yeah, he might
maybe
have been
he's
one
just
night
having
standing some of these
meals,
people.
which I thought maybe he's just having
No, it doesn't.
meals
I don't think so.
with somebody who
But
just wants to go.
he's a
Right.
serial dater, and these people are complaining about him. But he might have sent unsolicited dick pics. I don't know if that's true or not. But mainly the thing is, but the main thing that a lot of these people are not liking about him is that he went on multiple dates and not answering texts, and that's why they're dogging him. So. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it's just all over the internet, and I was just like, "What the fuck is this?" I woke up and I saw this, and I was like, "Why is this even a thing?" West Elm Caleb. Yeah, just look it up. It's a waste of time and effort. I just thought people might be interested in that. If you want to know more about what's going on the internet right now. And Mary Elizabeth Winstead is joining the Ahsoka show. So that's kind of cool. So if you guys are excited for the Ahsoka Star Wars TV show, Mary Elizabeth Winstead is going to be on there. And so is Hayden Christensen, apparently. I guess he's going to show up as a ghost, I guess. I assume. I assume that's what it is. I don't know. Anyways, wait, what? Where'd Ron go? He just disappeared. Am I just talking to myself?
I have no idea. Sounds crazy.
What happened? Sorry.
Oh, I was just...
in house and stuff. What happened? Yeah. Sorry.
Nothing. I just said Mary Elizabeth Winstead is going to be on the Ahsoka TV show, the Ahsoka Star Wars TV show.
Who is that lady?
She's in a couple movies. She was what was that? Scott Pilgrim. She was Ramona and Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah. The one with the purple hair?
Yeah, the main girl.
Y'all like that?
She's I have no problems with her. Yeah. I don't have any problems with her. But she's joining Rosario Dawson and Hayden Christensen in Ahsoka. So I don't know what she's gonna be doing. But it's a thing. It should be fun. I'm looking forward to that show. That show should be pretty cool.
More than Obi-Wan?
I honestly don't know what the Obi-Wan show is going to be about. It's going to be about his time on Tatooine, and I'm like, ooh, cool. More desert planets, please. Because that's all I want to watch on my sci-fi fantasy shows is desert planets.
Desolate, desolate times.
Yeah, that's... yes. More of that. More Tatooine, please. Because there's no other planet.
Right?
Yeah, there's no other planets in the vast galaxy of Star Wars.
Camino. I grew up around water.
Yeah, no. Retcon. Tatooine. Retcon. Tatooine. It's all Tatooine.
Fire!
Tatooine.
Fire! Remember that, Jay?
Also Tatooine. It's all Tatooine.
Fire!
Yeah.
Yeah, get him, Dad. Fire! Right?
Stupid.
Dude, he was go watch
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah. Do that. Do exactly that.
Fire! I bet you he looks back. He's like, "Damn, yeah, wish I could redo them lines, dude. You feel me? I will." Look, Dad.
Ooh.
You feel
Or
me?
or I wish I could redo this movie, this entire
Yes.
movie. I wish we
Yeah.
could rewrite it, reshoot it. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
You know, Joff gave me this. One of his last recos, he talked about the podcast. The name of the podcast again, Joff?
Oh yeah, American History Tellers.
Yeah. So I got to listen to a couple of episodes. Pretty good stuff. Uh, you know, Went around watching other videos too, whatever I could get my hands on. Just watching stuff. There's another one where sometimes they have those videos that's like they'll tell you everything in like 7 minutes, right? They just get straight to the points of certain things. They were talking about the Filipino American War, right? And at one point, um, they're using certain pictures on screen that's more modernized, but it'll just make you think too. So at one point, even though I was kind of there, it was a little offensive. He was more so referring to Ewoks as Filipinos, right? In this one take, but as the visuals grew, because it wasn't just a visual of an Ewok being portrayed as Filipinos or whatever, but he made it so relatable of like these are our oppressors, this is who it is, blah blah blah. Then I started thinking like, holy fuck, was even this is a crazy take. I was like, oh shit, was Return of the Jedi kind of an allegory or whatever for the Filipino American War? You know what I mean? Just
Vietnam War.
well, that's what I'm saying. There's different wars, different themes, right? So I'm just saying like certain things like the Phantom Menace. I've always said it relates to 9/11 and it relates to perpetuating the big lie, and for we're chasing a Disney villain that doesn't even really fucking exist. Maybe who knows? The Phantom Menace, hence the Phantom Menace. You know what I mean? So it's crazy how you just come across certain things that you might want to like Joff said when he first heard this stuff, he liked that it was kind of told from both sides, not just a one-sided take on certain things. So the way he might have grown up understanding what that war was, it's totally different from another person's experience too, right? So to get to hear both sides in a way and to come across other material where they'll even pull you in by using certain examples, whether it's things like Star Wars or whatever. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but I was saying that it's very cool and nerdy at the same time that they made me understand it even more by using certain visuals, I guess. You know what I mean? Certain visuals to relay the point of like, hey, this
Yeah.
really happened. So
If you can figure out a good analogy or some kind of relatable point to get your point across, I think that's probably one of the best things to do. That's how I try to relate certain things to people, understand what they like, and then try to put an example, in a form that is understandable to them. You know, you know where I actually learned that from, or not learned, but where it actually kind of like made me think about it a little bit more. Y'all watch that? You ever remember that movie Road Trip? The one where,
Tom
uh,
Green.
yeah, Tom Green was in it, and they travel to Texas to visit his girlfriend and whatnot,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
To grab a tape, a sex tape that accidentally got sent.
Yes.
So at the very end of that, the main character has to go back to take a final, right? A philosophy final, and his best friend is like, I can explain anything to anyone if I have a good like analogy for it. And he starts going into how Western philosophy back in ancient Greece was kind of like the Royal Rumble, and Plato was like the Undertaker or some shit like that. And the actual content of what he said was kind of like whatever. I don't really give a shit about that. It's like, okay, WWE relates to Royal Rumble, relates to like philosophy back in ancient Greece, but what he said was relating an understandable subject to a person, trying to explain a highly sophisticated subject to in a way that's relatable to somebody was always, for some reason, that stuck in my brain, and that's how I kind of try to explain things to people now, by using analogies that are understandable like that. Yeah, from the movie Red Ship, that's where I picked up that lesson.
It always makes sense to me whether somebody's using it in somebody. I love too how like somebody will be explaining something super highly over my head, then all of a sudden they'll be like, "Hold on, let me break it down in street terms, or let me break it down in whatever," right? And then all of a sudden you're just like, "Oh shit, why didn't I get that?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm looking into NFTs, right? Also maybe wanting to get in on that because I'm just like, oh, dude, you get to make money off your own art.
Yeah.
Let me go and try to learn this. So when they're throwing all these things at you, you're like, dude, how do I, you know what I mean? Where, but then when you find something where it's super simple, where it tells you what exactly the shit is, how you can get started, how you can even create and build up more on what, like if you already have your own thing, it could take you to this level, depending on the type of art that you want to create. It's so awesome how we're able to use technology, I guess, to have a better understanding to where kind of
sort of, because right now, as it is, as the current technology is, NFTs is kind of a scam. It could get better in the future, but as it is right now, it's a scam. What you're buying is you're buying a receipt. You're not buying the art, because the way it works currently is you are paying for a link that's linked to, you're paying for a URL basically. You're not paying for the actual piece of art. So that's kind of what's happening right now. So I mean, it could become something better in the future, but as it is right now, it's kind of a scam, because so you're buying the link, and what's going on is basically different people are buying it for slightly higher prices and artificially inflating the price of the NFT, and then the person at the end of it basically buys it thinking it's going to be worth something, and then it's obviously been inflated to a certain price and it's not worth anything at all. So that's why it's kind of a scam at the moment. It's totally unregulated. So I mean, there might be stuff that's on the up and up, but the big problem is that it is unregulated at the moment. So at any moment these things can disappear, right? So it's not worth it at the moment.
Good scam to get into while you can, though.
Yes, if you can get into it, then yes. But
good scam to get into while you can. That's more, not me necessarily. I don't give a fuck about no. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, for an opportunity for you to see what this, like, I read about the guy that took a selfie of himself, right?
Yeah.
For like 3 years, and he sold each of those pictures for I think $3 each, and he's made over 500,000.
Yeah.
In just the little artwork that he sells with his just selfie, just his face. You know what I mean? So, good for him. You know what I mean? It's one of those, good for him. Although, again, with collecting, that I'm more. I don't know if I would want to get into that. Even though you see a lot of companies, athletes now are getting into that. They do a lot of NFT drops now.
Yeah.
It is weird to see. Excuse me. It's just weird to see art in that medium, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, seeing art in that medium is not weird, but selling something that's not tangible
That's what I'm saying. Like a
that you
digital, yeah, something digital, and then
can't do anything with
yeah,
it.
you can't do anything with it, right? There's this
Yeah.
one guy. There's this one NFT I saw where some guy used a spray paint virtual program.
Yeah.
He did an amazing piece. It's crazy. And those are the NFTs that he sells. And I'm just like, all right, clearly he put time into it because he even takes
Sure.
videos of him doing the actual videos and stuff. So you're basically just watching a guy in fucking goggles do, all this stuff. But the artwork he creates is incredible. It's just he's somehow flipping that into, all right, here, I'm selling that. It's like, all right, if I, it's like, why would I want to? That's crazy. Like, why would I want to buy that? That whole deal. So,
well, because
that's
people are buying these things based on the hopes that it'll go up in value, right? That's that's the that's the that's the selling point. But why would it go up in value, right? Why would this piece of art go up in value at all? Right?
yeah, I get it.
What makes it valuable? You think it's valuable. Does the other person? Do other people think it's valuable? At this moment, there are a lot of people who think they're potentially valuable, so they're trying to get in on the ground floor. But right now, as it is, it's a scam.
Like I was looking at these. This was a while back, but you know how they'll have like virtual basketball cards or football cards. Like they're just virtual cards. And people put so much time into grinding and whatever it is trying to get certain cards. It's like, yeah, but these aren't real fucking cards. I'm here in my head like these aren't real fucking cards. Yeah, you guys are spending hella bread or making all these transactions, trying to talk to other people like, yo, I need that. I'm like, it's not even a real fucking card. You know what I mean? It's not even a real card.
Well, that's how it is with Magic the Gathering. Like, some people pay real money for these virtual cards to play this game, right? And that's all fine and good, but the problem with that for a lot of people is that once the game goes away, because eventually they usually do, the money that you put in to buy that card, goes away as well, and you have nothing to show for it, right? That card disappears. So they're trying to make it so that NFTs mean that you own that card, but here's the thing: you you don't own that card. You don't own that art. You own something that says that you bought a version of it, and that's it. You can't take it with you. If the art asset disappears because the server is shut down, there's no way for you to get it back. You can't put it anywhere else, right? There's no other other wallet that you can really put it in and do anything with it. It's not like you can put it into another game. That's not going to happen. There's a huge debate on Twitter about why can't you do it. We just haven't had the time to make it so that this, if we bought a gun in one game and we can port it to another game because this is my gun, I bought the NFT for it. But that basically speaks to how people don't understand how video games are made. So to even think that is silly, but to sell an NFT based on that lie is kind of scummy. It's very scummy, honestly.
Guys, this is a Hub 408 episode 128. You're in with Joffsimus, Jay Jericho, Ninja Iceberg, me, Ron, Sarah. We've hit. Well, we're past our
Past
2 hour mark.
Yeah.
Anything else that you guys wanted to say before we get into the weekend and get up out of here?
Nah.
Nah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Joff, anything else? Jay?
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, I was gonna say thank you guys to whoever's watching us. I appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend. Hope you guys have a good weekend, guys. This is my last couple of days of being 41. I turned 42 on Monday, so I was gonna say I'm going into my early 40s now. Like really going into my early 40s now with turning 42. And I was trying to think. That's who's that? That's James Worthy. Is that James Worthy's number right there? 42?
Ronnie Lott.
Ronnie Lott. Who else? But I was gonna say that's pretty much it. I was gonna say I hope you guys are doing good.
Terry Kirby.
We are out of here.
I
was
saw that
decent.
fool at the Great Mall, dog. Terry Kirby buying a suit at the Great Mall.
I'll tell you this: Terry Kirby was way better than Kevin Barlow.
At the bit, was it at the tall men, big and tall men's store?
I think
Was it
so.
one of those?
Yeah.
Leon is saying silver pube era. Yeah, I guess. I remember a really best friend of mine. He was like, "So are you getting grays down there?" I was like, "Don't ever call me, dude. Why are you calling me, asking if I have grays down there?"
Jackie Robinson's number 42.
Yeah, the great Jackie Robinson, as portrayed by
Chadwick
Boseman. Norm Macdonald had a good joke about like, oh, Chadwick Boseman as you've never seen him before, and it was like it's his first movie. All right, we're out of here. Thank you guys. Episode 129, hopefully on Monday. Other than that, we'll see you guys. Bye. Go check out. Oh, by the way, go check out the new Buhai Kali album. I'm on there. That's the only way I can get paid. Make sure you buy that on all streaming platforms. Thank you guys. We're out of here. See you guys.